Alright.
Hello, welcome to Drama Inbound, the most controversial podcast on the internet. I am your host Daniel, and today we have PDK Jim 2386, who will be my co-host for today since Jacob's sister has passed away. Poor him. Now,
Thank you very little. You're welcome even less. Jesus Christ. You know how to open up a podcast on a fucking downer. Yes, my co-host isn't here. His sister died. The inconsiderate bastard.
hey, it's controversial.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
I'm going to make some drama. That is the point.
Yeah, but when he sees this, he's gonna fucking stab you.
I know. He's the one gonna upload it, so he's gonna get to listen to it before it's sent in. So
This episode is never gonna get uploaded, even if it's like the fucking. What is it, like the pilot episode of the podcast is like, talks about my dead sister. I'm gonna kill him!
well, no, I do actually have feelings, but remember, this is Drama Inbound. Nothing's off limits. Except
Okay.
for tentacle porn.
Yes,
But-
because that's always a choice selection.
So, what we have to talk about here, Jim?
Well, I don't know. You're the one with the cards in front of you, so you fucking tell me.
Well, I wish I had some cards in front of me. The only cards I have are magic cards, and that just makes me a nerd. Okay. So,
It's a
yes.
gathering of subjects.
Let's start with the least controversial topic: the live action Disney craze. I cannot talk today.
Clearly.
I did so well in the intro, and then I just goof up on the topic.
It's just
Congratulations.
fucking, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's like I had one good start, and that was it.
It's like anybody who subscribes to the channel now, if it's going to be uploaded like that on YouTube or whatever,
Well-
it's just going to be like, yeah, we're fans of bullshit.
Oh no, that's all Donald Trump's supporters. Oh, burn.
Greatest supporters in the world. I got great supporters. They're going to build me a wall.
A wall around your channel.
As you can tell, my Donald Trump impression is on fleek.
Yeah, the only difference is you gotta say huge. It's huge.
Fucking huge.
The wall is huge.
Wall huge. Bigger than China.
I'm
Big
gonna
old
build this Chinese wall over your channel, and it's gonna be huge. You won't be
Yeah.
able to make any more podcasts outside of the wall.
Yeah, the funny thing is as well is that he probably wants to build this wall bigger than fucking China to stop immigrants from fucking coming in, going out, what the fuck ever. Who's he going to get to build it? The fucking Irish.
Well, good
Who
luck.
themselves are probably fucking immigrants.
Well,
Mind
good
you,
luck.
you'd have to
I
go in
doubt Donald
passes.
Trump could build a wall that's 3.5 thousand miles. Which, I mean, I don't even think 3,000 miles is in the border from Mexico to the United States. I mean, it might be around 2,000, but I don't see 3,000 miles. I'm sorry.
No, he's looking on putting it on like either side of the fucking coast as well. So it's like, yeah, if they're going to come around, they're going to go around in a fucking boat. If they get around the wall, then yeah, I might let them in.
Well, it's like saying if they get through the fire, the spikes, and the rabid Tasmanian devils with rabies, then they come in.
Yeah, let them come in. You are quite welcome to Hawaii.
But let's go with the live action Disney craze. It's going to
Yeah.
fail. Why? Because in my opinion, two things. One, they're running out of ideas. Live actioning your own movies is a clear sign you've just ran out of ideas.
Mm.
Zootopia seems to be the wall they hit, and they're like, okay, what do we do now? What do we do now? Live action Lion King! Brilliant, you get a pay raise!
Well, I mean, yeah, I can understand like running out of ideas and stuff like that. But then again, you've got like the whole idea of revamping old movies and shit. Because I know that there's recently been a trailer that's come out for the live action Beauty and the Beast, which in all fairness, kind of looks okay from the very little that there is, but this is like what we discussed beforehand. Is that I like personally, in my opinion, like especially now that they're doing the Lion King and there's also Mulan in the works as being
Aladdin.
revamped as well. And I didn't know they were doing Aladdin, so that's a new one on me. So they've got these four movies which are in themselves like highly acclaimed. So doing like a real life revamping of them as well is you could say like it's a good idea, but whether they're gonna like topple the originals, I'll still kind of hold my footing on that one and say that they won't. As interesting as they would be, I don't think you would get like the same raw, real emotions as you did from any of
Well,
the animated classics,
well, you got to think they
etc.
already did one thing. They've already done the Jungle Book, and
Yeah.
while that has made about 900 million worldwide, it
Mm.
still kind of was not good as the original Jungle Book. And I'm not talking about box office, because back then the box office was what box office? Because
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
Jungle Book I think it was the last thing Walt had a part in before he died.
Mm. Yeah. I was
Um,
going to say, because didn't they do a live action Tarzan as well? I'm pretty sure that they have. They've
Yes.
done
Oh yeah,
they've
yeah.
done
You're
Tarzan
right
as well.
about
Yeah.
that. You're right about
Yeah.
that. But there are some things they cannot live action. I want to see how they're gonna do the Lion King, because if they can live
Yeah.
action the Lion King, they can certainly live action. Like there's no humans in the Lion King versus the Jungle Book,
Mm.
and you're gonna have to live action. You know, I want to see them try to live action Toy Story. I know that's not gonna be a thing,
Oh
but
yeah,
if
that's
if
that's never going to happen.
if you can do that, you can do anything. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, the thing is as well is that the budget for these movies are well, you're going to imagine that it's going to probably be a lot bigger than any animation would be. Because I mean, take for example Mulan. That is set in like Dynasty era China. So you're going to have all of these extra actors that are going to have to be worked in, as well as like the main actress for Mulan, and then like the general and the other main guy as well. I can't remember his name, but again, these are like all individual actors that you're gonna have to pay, you're gonna have to put up with, you're gonna have to do this, that, and another, and then there's all of the reshoots. And it's like there's going to be none of that. Like if you're going to be doing it as an animated feature, because you draw it out. If you make a mistake, here's a rubber, fucking do it again. But then again, it's like you can have like changes of scenes which are easier to do, possibly like animated, but like again, live action is like, well, we want to do this, and this, but then main Disney's saying, well, we've also got to throw this in, so it's like more against the budget as well, sort of deal.
Well, actually, Mulan, and this is something I've learned through Facebook little articles, that Mulan is going to have an all Chinese cast, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting. But what really gets me is who's going to play Mushu? Who's going to play the freaking dragon? Because we know, and I'm sure this cannot be disputed, that this guy is going to be CGI.
Well, no, there's going to be no doubt about it, unless Disney have found a way of reviving a dragon and bringing my dreams to life of someday owning a pet dragon, which is going to burn my house down once rent's up. It's, but, but yeah, I think no doubt about it. It's like
Unless they pull a Jurassic Park with dragons.
Oh yeah, yeah. But again, we've already got like two Jurassic Park movies that say why that is a bad idea.
Well, yeah, but now that I think about it, if we were gonna have the world destroyed, I would love a dragon version of Jurassic Park. What would we call it? I don't know. Trogdor the Burninator Park. I don't know. Just seems like
Trogdor the Burninator. Where the fuck did that come from?
it's an old Homestar Runner joke. You'd actually have to watch it yourself.
Oh, okay, okay. I just thought you kind of manifested the living spirit of Arnold Schwarzenegger for a minute.
Trogdor the Burninator. That does sound like a
Trogdor
character.
the Burninator.
That sounds like a character he would play if he was mocking himself like Adam West does in everything he does.
Oh, I'm just pouring some dog food into a bowl.
Nobody messes with Adam Wee.
No more than 2 sheets. Why, thank you, Tinkle Fairy.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My favorite is when there's a psychologist analyzing him and he's like, You're a sociopath with murderous tendencies doing odd things to hide your actions. Grab his collar. You know what? You're right. Now I'm going to wear this bowl of spaghetti on my head.
Adam West is just the absolute best in fucking Family Guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he can make fun of himself, but it's also good that he knows how campy he is. So he's
Yeah,
like,
he knows he's a character, and that's the thing is that like whenever he gets hired in, he knows he's a character.
it's like Deadpool without the fourth wall breakage.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because I mean, the fact that he's a politician as well is just fucking amazing. Why he hasn't been voted for president, I don't know. If it comes to the 2020 elections and Adam West is going up for an election, if he's going to be running for president, if by that time that I'm living in America, I am voting Adam West.
If Adam West gets elected, sure, I'm sure we all will. We'll be like, I don't know who the runner-up will be. Well, let's go with Burt Ward as his vice president. Okay, we're gonna go.
Oh, fuck it. Go for Burt Reynolds. That'd be more badass.
He's still alive?
Yeah, Burt Reynolds is still alive, as far as I'm aware.
He's just old, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or hey, shoot, Norm Macdonald would make a good Secretary of State while we're at it.
Well, I don't even know who the fuck that is. So moving on.
True. If you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents, he's played as a genie. If you ever watch SNL, he's also played as Burt Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask that one. He's like, that's not my name. Turd Ferguson. He played him on the SNL Jeopardy.
All right. Okay.
Suck it, Trebek. But yeah, so speaking of elections, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was watching something on Facebook where Donald Trump was speaking about things. It's like, the crowd in Ohio was chanting a couple words in between Donald Trump's phrases. Lock her up! Lock her up! At most, I thought he was saying F her up. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you Ohioans doing? You don't want to touch Hillary like that? Ugh.
God, it's like the presidential campaign has turned into a sexual endurance test.
Oh, wait, there was another chant. They're like, build the wall. Which wall? I mean, the fourth wall, the third wall, the second wall, the first wall, the roof. What wall are you talking about?
It's the First World War.
I mean, do you want us to build back that wall from the Cold War? I don't know. Berlin Wall? Build the wall. I mean, that's pretty much essentially what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's trying to fucking separate the people as well. I mean, that's, if anything, that is going to be like his major downfall. If it's not already, with like all of the ridiculous shit he's already said. No, I mean, think of it this way. He goes on about all of these radical Muslims and shit like that, and I think you'll find me proving a very major fucking point here. There are probably like millions of Muslim kids in America who have not been radicalized. If you can imagine Donald Trump getting into power and he's going on racial rants about Muslims, Jews, this, that, and another, but I mean, obviously we know his main focus is like ISIS, building the wall, Muslims and shit like that. How quickly do you think all of those kids are going to get fucking radicalized?
Oh, trust me, I'm sure he's going to be speeding up the radicalization of Islam, the way he acts. I mean, basically everything you see is based on perception. And if you think, oh, this guy is going to make fun of my religion, and you're a peaceful Islamic, you're like, he's going to make fun of my religion? I'm going to go radical just to get rid of him. You're bringing the means to an end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, America's got, it's like the First Amendment right, which is like the right to bear arms.
No, that's Second Amendment. First is free
the
speech.
Second Amendment. Yeah, free speech. So it's like the Second Amendment right. And then, I mean, there's the fact that the armed American public can cause a legal uprising as well from, like, the Declaration of Independence is that, like, obviously the government is for the people, the government is not for the government. And if the government isn't doing their job, the people do have the right to cause like an insurrection or rebellion or whatever, so they can take back their governing state. So you've also got to take into consideration as well is like, you're going to have the radicalized Islamic and Muslim states that are going to pretty much have the right to bear arms for those who are already American citizens. And there's like all of those who are going to be radicalized because of Donald Trump as well. But then again, you've also got the fact of, you have all of these patriotic Americans who are going to bear arms as well to go up against the radicalized Muslim and Islamic state in the United States themselves. Because the way that I can see it is that if there is going to be a World War III, it's not going to be from Russia because it's even been said by Vladimir Putin himself he doesn't want like a war to happen because he has said it more than once and it's always like the media outlets are always saying like Vladimir Putin's moving short range missiles to the border of Yugoslavia or wherever the hell it is. And it's making him out like he's going to be this tyrannical warlord that he's going to fucking open fire on the United States when it's just not true. Because I've actually seen videos of Vladimir Putin putting like business moguls into place basically. Because the one video that I'd seen was of Vladimir Putin doing a surprise visit on I think it was like some sort of refinery and stuff like that, and he was informed by the workers there that they had like no union, no pension, this, that, and another, all because the higher ups basically said that they can't have it. So there and then, Vladimir Putin had called for a meeting of all of the higher ups, this, that, and another, and he said, right here, right now, we are going to have a union. We are going to have a retirement plan for all of you workers. All of you who are sitting around this table now who are involved in this business. I am disappointed in you. I am disgusted in you that you are not treating your workers fairly. And you are all going to sign this piece of paper that says that you can have a union and retirement funds and stuff like that. So he passed this contract around and everybody fucking signed it except for one guy who was the owner of the refinery. And he's looking at the paper. Once he gets it back, he notices that this guy's name's missing. He looks up at him and he says, you haven't signed this piece of paper. He says, I refuse to. He says, no, you're going to sign it. So he hands him over the contract and he hands him over his pen. So this is Vladimir Putin sitting in front of you telling you to sign something for the sake of your workers to, for their own safety and so that they've got money for their family when they eventually retire. So he sits there, signs it, hands the contract back. And Vladimir Putin, straight face, just said, you've still got my pen. So the guy gets up out of his chair, gives him a pen, he says, right, get out of my face. So again, it's like the media painting a bad picture on Vladimir Putin wanting to do this, that and another against the United States. But then again, it's not entirely true. Because, even more recently as well, he went off on a media outlet saying that Vladimir Putin wanted to cause World War III, and he went fucking ballistic.
I mean, Putin actually said, bring anybody in your family back over to Russia, because it's not like he was going to war, it's he's preparing for war. Not to say he's going to involve himself. It means he wants all the Russians back in Russia because he wants to protect his people, regardless of where they are. And people might say we're communists for this, but no, we're just defending the actions of a righteous cause. Because if you don't want war, you try, and there's people who are concerned for their family and loved ones, and he's like, okay, bring your people back here, and
you'll be safe at home, sort of deal. Because I mean, I can see why he's doing it as well. Because who you've got up for running for president, you've got Donald Trump and you've got Hillary Clinton. Both could be said as bad as each other.
I'm going to quote South Park on this, even though it's not that the show's not funny. It's just that I'm not a big TV watcher. But I'm going to quote it like this: You've got a turd sandwich and a douche.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no winner.
No, exactly. And I mean, the thing is as well is that America either way is going to be forced to eat that sandwich. But this is
the thing about America is you have a right to vote. Well, the problem is, I also have the choice not to vote because, I had a phrase in my head. Speaking of, it's like, it's like war games. The only way to win is not to play. So usually when people say, "Oh, you should vote," that's the only reason you get to complain. It's like, well, if I don't play the game, I mean, even though we're all going to lose, I'm not going to play, so I don't have any effect on our destruction. It's mutually assured destruction all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And I mean, the fact of the matter is as well is that, you wanting to take yourself out from the election, then you can't have anyone say to you, oh, you voted for this person, we hate you, stab, 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 stab. Oh, we hate you for voting for this person, shoot, 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 shoot. And I'll say stab, 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 or shoot, shoot, shoot. It just depends which president gets elected because like one of the two, you're going to get your guns taken away from you, or you're going to have cement all over your hands that you won't be able to stab anyone. So it's just like bang, insert a bullet manually.
Mm.
So, but again, it's like I can see what Vladimir Putin's point is that yeah, he might be prepared to go to war and defend Russia, but I mean, the fact of the matter is, I mean, can you blame the guy?
No, no, no. And just saying, I would laugh personally if Vladimir Putin was actually listening to this. I doubt it with all honesty, but if this actually came to his attention, I would laugh because he'd probably go like, "These guys know what they're talking about," and then everybody else is gonna come in and it's like, "You guys are just a bunch of dumb shitheads." Well, what do you know? You didn't go to college, and if you did go to college, what did you major in?
I majored in incest and farm animals.
That's what I thought.
But no, I mean the thing is like if anyone in politics is actually listening to this, whether it be Vladimir Putin, whether it be like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or whatever, I've got to
Queen
say,
Elizabeth was hearing this.
if Queen Elizabeth was fucking listening to this, one quote for you, woman: get your country in fucking check. We're all suffering, goddammit. But if Barack Obama's listening to this, major props to you, dude. You're fucking 8 years in office. You've done a lot for the fucking country that, people like fuck news and yeah, you've taken all of the hate. You're the first fucking black president in office, and you've completely turned the country around. There's people who don't want to see the fucking fact that you brought in like free healthcare. You've fucking driven unemployment down to the fucking ground. Yeah, there's still going to be people who are going to be unemployed, but yeah, again, you've opened up more job opportunities. You've made sure that there's pension plans in place for everybody. Everybody's getting free fucking healthcare. But what exactly is going to be happening after that, whether it be Trump or Clinton that gets into office, whether that free fucking healthcare is still going to be in place, I don't know. And if Vladimir Putin's listening to this, please, please, please send the KGB to protect me from the CIA when they come knocking on my fucking door. If the other two are fucking listening. I doubt it would happen. I doubt it would happen, but you never fucking know. I'm just going to have like 4 guys in black suits and sunglasses just going to be like, we heard you on the podcast. And I'm just going, oh, fuck, now I'm going to have Skynet in my living room for the rest of my fucking life.
That brings up an interesting point, too, because you got to think of this. To our viewers, this is our opinions. If you don't like it, it's an opinion. You're not entitled to like it. But you're entitled to like it or not. You're entitled to agree with it or not. You're entitled to start a flame war in the comments. I don't care.
Because the fact of the matter is, an opinion is the lowest form of human intelligence. And that is true. It is. It's like the lowest form of like human intelligence. We are entitled to an opinion. It doesn't matter whether it's right or it's wrong. We're still entitled to it.
But to these people, I stand firm in what I say. I'm not gonna go backtrack later and say I didn't mean to say any of that.
Oh no, exactly.
Except for the sister thing, I'm just getting Jacob back for killing me off in episode 1. So I'm revived by the drama god to start some drama. So there we go.
Yeah.
That's just vengeance.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll stand by my opinion of Vladimir Putin as well. That he's just wanting to protect like the people of Russia, and he's just willingly prepared for what's going to be happening. Yeah, he doesn't want to go to war, but when push comes to shove, Churchill didn't want to fucking go to war. The people of England and the United States and Germany, they didn't want to go to war, but it fucking happened.
And what's even funnier is, speaking of war, there's another little elephant in the room, and I say little elephant because I'm about to mention North Korea.
Oh, we had to step foot there.
Yeah, we had to put our feet in that little area. So, and they're gonna try to go to war, and we know if Donald Trump gets elected, he's gonna do the opposite of the motto. Usually you say you can't please everybody, but there's another side to that coin. You can't piss everyone off.
Exactly.
It's like you can't please everybody, but you piss everybody off, and he's going to do it. I don't know how, but it's going to happen, and I think North Korea is going to take advantage of that like a free candy bowl with all the good stuff. He's going to be like, oh, I'm going to take this Kit Kat, and break Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that Donald Trump's presidential fucking slogan is going to be, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. And he's going to be pissing on a lot of fucking people.
And you know, I'm just thinking. One thing I know is North Korea does not have a good relation with the U.S. already. So we know if Donald Trump becomes president,
Mm,
oh, I
yeah.
saying the shit hit the fan would be an understatement. I think it hit the celestial uh backslash of like it's an opposite black hole. It's going to throw up in all of our faces.
Yeah, so it's a white hole then.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go with that.
It spews out time and shit. But mind you, I mean, you say that is like, North Korea doesn't have a good standing with America. They don't have a good standing with fucking South Korea. And like from stuff that I'd read on Facebook, so it must be true, inverted commas. That they've been working on plans on like trying to assassinate Kim Jong Un as well. I think it's Kim Jong Un
well,
or Jong
well,
Il. I don't know. Oh no,
no,
Kim
it's
Jong Il is dead because he was ill. So,
he ill was dead because he was ill. But the thing is
yeah.
about that personally,
Mm,
and I think uh, it's our fault that we had a bad relationship with North Korea because
mm.
we chose to be anti-communist. So we sided with South Korea, who was anti-communist, and decided to get our butts in a civil war that we still haven't won.
Oh yeah,
And,
exactly.
and that was the same for the Vietnam War, but the difference was at least we pulled out of that.
Yeah, but the problem was Vietnam was fucking prepared.
Yeah, we shouldn't have gotten ourselves into it in the first place, and that can be
No.
said for a lot of wars.
Well, yeah,
But
exactly.
but let's see. Since 1940 until like the Cold War.
Mm,
No, before. Let's see. The last major war we won is World War II.
yeah.
We haven't won Iraq. That's just a lie. Whoever says that is ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't. We've been in a lot of wars, but we haven't won one since 1945. What does that tell you? We are, and I want to say antiquated, but I don't know if that's a word.
Mm.
We're rusty. We're old. We're not as good as we are in war anymore. So we might as well go to something we should work on, rebuilding our stuff back.
Well, yeah, exactly. And like from something that I'd read as well, there's out of I think it's like the entire time that the United States has been like considered like a fully fledged country, it's only spent 22 of its entire years not in war. Because I mean, like you've had like the War of Independence, you've had the American Civil War.
And
I
you know
mean,
what's really funny?
yeah.
Half of those 22 years were in the Great Depression.
Well, yeah, exactly. Where you had a war against fucking depression. It's like no
Well,
alcohol, throw myself out the window.
well, not just that, but we're like, well, I mean, if you want to say years we're not in war, I mean, there's the war on drugs. If you want to count that, go ahead. But that was
Yeah.
happening during, a little before and after Vietnam because of people at Woodstock. It's a long story. And then you've
Mm,
got the war on crime, which I think has not technically stopped yet.
mm.
Now we've got the war on special interest groups. Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, quite frankly, that is just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, because there was something I don't know whether I'd heard it. It might have been like whilst I was out getting the kids from school, or it might have been like a story that I'd overheard. Was oh no, it's my friend who told me. He called me the other night and he said that there was these group of black lads that was attacking this one white lad, and they were all in. They couldn't have been like maybe 14, 15 or something like that. They're all sitting on this one kid, and my mate kind of stepped in and he said, like, what the fucking hell's going on here? He says, oh, we don't like black people, blah blah blah, Black Lives Matter. But you see, the thing is like other reports that have come out as well. It's yeah, look, Black Lives Matter. It is a fact. You've been, the I'm trying not to be too racist with this,
Well,
but
let me
the
put it this way: Black
yeah,
Lives Matter was started not just because black people are getting killed, but because it's an anti-cop movement. That's all
Yeah.
it is. That is all it is. I mean, if it were people, if it were like back in the 1960s and people were getting killed, I could understand that would have been more broad. That would have been more acceptable.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's just an argument of we have our rights. We're black people. You can't just kill us just because we're black, kind of
Well,
thing.
no. Because, I
It's
mean, the fact of the matter is, it's like 40% of, like, black people have been killed by black people.
right,
14% of black people have been killed by white. And
and you
then
got
there's, like, all of these other percentages and stuff like that that have, like, killed black people. Yeah, it's, like, attacking white cops and it's just attacking cops in general. When the fact of the matter is that if black lives really do fucking matter, stop fucking killing yourselves.
and
Jesus fucking Christ.
and here's another thing that really gets my goat, grinds my gears, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
You've got this. There was a little thing that I saw where a white guy was doing an experiment. He went to a
Yeah.
white community with the sign Black Lives Matter. Now they
Yeah.
did nothing. They more like scoffed and shoot him off and didn't really hurt him enough. Then he
Yeah.
does the opposite. He goes to a black neighborhood with an All Lives Matter sign, and
Yeah.
people are just like about to beat him up. And one person even knocks the sign out of his hands, tries to beat him up. It's like because they're all Black Lives Matter and they're like, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to talk to both these groups and say one thing.
Mm.
You both are just as bad as Donald Trump. And I say this not because in the term of racism, bigotry, or sexism, because you have the amount of ignorance that Donald Trump has when it comes to statistics, when it comes to figuring out your differences, because the only way you want to solve it is by trying to be macho and having a bunch of people support you. Well, you're with evidence with yours, you're not going to be supported. As for All Lives Matter, it's true, but the way you go about it is just stupid. That's like trying to heal somebody by stabbing them with a pair of scissors
Mm.
or giving
You,
them leeches. It doesn't work like that anymore.
well, no, exactly. You can't answer violence with violence. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work like the way that it used to. I know that sounds bad, but you know.
Right, and you know, I have nothing against any race. Now, if I
No.
ever get mad, I'm going to admit sometimes in my head I think certain racial things, but it never comes out of my mouth. I never make an
Hmm.
action upon it. I might give them a hairy eyeball or something, but I
Yeah.
never really hate anybody. I don't
Yeah.
hate people based off race, religion. I actually know a friend that's Hindu. I know a
Mm.
friend who I have friends who are Islamic. Actually, I used to work with one in Walmart.
Mm.
And she's really nice. She's really cool. You got to know people. If you
Yeah.
tend to not jump in out of your comfort zone and tend to know somebody and just think on bias, you're going to be as bad as Donald Trump, bar none.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like no matter what colour your skin is, if you're going to piss me off, you're going to piss me off. You know,
Yeah.
you might say that I'm a blazing racist and stuff like that, and I'll be like, yeah, I am a blazing racist because if you were white, I would have already kicked your fucking teeth in.
Well,
I'll just have to end it as simple as that. You know, no matter what colour you are, if you're going to piss me off,
and if I would, there's only one person I'm racist towards, and that's Donald Trump, because he's no color I've ever seen before. He is
he's
as
like
orange as a carrot.
he's like an off colour of fucking orange that I've never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of mutation in his genes did those suntan, whatever spray give him? I'm like,
It's like L'Oreal and Pantene are just like, fuck it, we ain't touching that.
uh, I mean, I'd ask him. I don't even know how to respond to his color. It's like,
It's like he just all of a sudden saw like a colour being painted in one of his hotels and thought, that'd make a nice skin tone. And then saw the matching toilet carpet in the bathroom and he thought, nice
wait,
haircut.
wait, nerd reference. It's like if someone poured determination on a carrot.
Can't do one podcast without escaping fucking Undertale. Jesus.
Hey, but I can see it. I can see that. It's like, hi, I'm Donald. Donald the Trump.
I'm Trumpy the Prez.
Oh Lord, if that happened, I would just quit right now. I'd quit life as it were.
Alright, so we may as well get close to wrapping it up because I think we've overrun our time a little bit. So we may as well go with like final thoughts or whatever, I suppose. Like any like upcoming projects the both of us have. So
Well, I don't have any upcoming project. This is my project, so.
yeah. Well, I do have an upcoming project.
Well,
I
go ahead.
do. It's going to be coming up on my YouTube channel October 28th, and I can actually say that it's going to be a world exclusive. Although I can't say what it is
I just hope it's not.
yet.
I just hope it's not you in what you call pants and doing the chicken dance.
Damn it, how do you know?
If,
No,
if
that's it.
I know, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you for watching Drama Inbound. We will see
Even though you were listening to most of it.
we will see you next week. 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 You next week.